Fourth match of the day here at the Gibraltar Darts Trophy 2018. It features Mike de Decker, a man who decided to warm up for this match by having a kickabout with the local kids in the playground behind us, in the commentary booth here, which is just behind backstage, but outdoors. We've had a few distractions today. Hopefully for de Decker there won't be any distractions here, but he's up against a man who is looking to make the most of his time on the European Tour once again. A man who made his European Tour debut at the German Darts Championship in 2014, but he had to wait a further 4 years for his second experience of the Euro circuit, ending his absence with a 6-4 first-round win against Dimitri van den Berg in Sindelfingen. And a performance like that today may well cause de Decker one or two problems, you have to say. So Padgett up against de Decker. De Decker still only 23 years old. Two players who find themselves in a similar section of the world rankings, the overall order of merit and the Pro Tour order of merit right now. De Decker coming through 4 rounds of qualifying to make it here. Padgett overcoming some fairly illustrious names as well. Lee Bryant 6-3, Simon Stevenson 6-4, and then perhaps the most significant, seeing off Kirk Shepherd 6-3. Good to see him back again for his second Euro Tour event of 2018. Dan Dawson back alongside me for this.
It's Matt to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, well, Euro Tour appearances for Matt Padgett have been few and far between, but that appearance in Sindelfingen, some pretty impressive stuff. The win against van den Berg, he had darts to beat Chizzy, if I remember rightly, in the second round, lost in the last leg decider. He was dominating that game, and I think Chizzy
100.
mounted a stirring fight back, if I recall correctly. But, as you say, making the most of his opportunities on the Euro Tour. Now he's back playing
135
on a more regular basis.
Yeah, de Decker just one experience this year for him on the European Tour circuit, a very short-lived one as well. He was beaten in the first round in Zwolle last month by Terry Jenkins, 6-2. Did make the third round of one of these Euro Tour events last year. That was also in Holland, in Maastricht. Lost to Big John Henderson that weekend, 6-2.
85.
Still a work in progress, Mike de Decker, still playing on the development tour. We've seen him play some really good stuff in the past, but we have seen him put in some disappointing performances as well. So, look, he's still progressing.
121.
One of these many young Belgian talents in the game right now. Obviously, Dimitri's the standout one, and he just keeps underlining that with some of his performances
85.
on TV of late. Although Dimitri not here this weekend.
$59.
Yeah, maybe an opportunity for Dimitri to just recharge the batteries. It's been a heck of a few weeks for him with his exploits at the World Series events in Germany, the German Darts Masters in Gelsenkirchen, and then, of course, playing his part in that Belgian World Cup campaign that almost culminated in an appearance in the final.
Still on. No longer.
76. Mikey Require 96. $60. Mikey Require 24.
Well, de Decker had the chance there for a break of throw in the very first leg. Padgett now looking at double 12 to hold his throw here.
On the first leg,
and he comes through.
Second leg is Mike to throw first.
Currently without a tour card is Matt Padgett. He did earn his first tour card not too long after he joined the PDC in 2010.
84.
Didn't take him too long to establish himself and come through and earn his first tour card. Has made 3 quarterfinals on the Challenge Tour this year, so another player who's making good strides on the Challenge Tour. 36 years old is Padgett. And making giant strides in this second leg as well.
$100.
Everything modelled on Phil Taylor, Matt Padgett.
83.
The throw, except he's left-handed, of course. You might be, if you've not seen Padgett play before, you might be looking at him going, I've seen that throw before. You have, many, many times.
96.
Figured he's the best player in the world. Works for him. Why can't it work for me?
$121.
There's also a bit of a resemblance in that focus in his eyes as well.
Right,
Very steely look.
91.
Right, is
Match
everything
required,
it's modelled on it the way he
117.
brings it just right in front of the eyes.
Third time though, he's hit either single one or treble one with his first dart, and he's hit it again here. That's been a feature for Padgett in this leg.
Mikey Aguirre, 130.
And it might just open the door here for De Decker. Certainly might open up now. Bullseye.
Game shot on the second leg.
And that
Mike De Decker.
is a terrific response by Mike De Decker.
Game on.
Suffered a break of throw in the first leg, but what a way to hit back. 130.
$100.
Winner of this will face the Welsh #1 Gerwyn Price, clinging on to his position in the seedings, seeded number 15. So that means that he's in the opposite half of the draw to Michael van Gerwen, but he is the same little section as the number 2 seed Michael Smith, the reigning champion here in Gibraltar.
180.
Who I believe had to go back to the hotel this morning because he turned up for practice
41.
along with Christobi, and they were both wearing shorts, which I think was some breach of the dress code.
Ah, not allowed in, even in the players' room in shorts, it would appear. I'm not sure what the rule is. I've just seen Darius Labanauskas change into a
105.
particularly fetching red pair of 3/4 length shorts, but he's now left the building, so.
Okay.
Not quite as impressive as Hannah Schneer's bright blue trousers. Look forward to them later.
134. Matt, you require
Taking on Roy Asquez, one of the Gibraltarian qualifiers.
What a tease that is.
Wow.
It's all about the sizzle, not the sausage, Dan. That is superb. Bright blue trousers for Hannah Schneer.
96.
One dart missed at tops. But he will return, Padgett.
95. Matt, you require 20.
Well, the thinking was there from De Decker to try and leave a finish, but the execution wasn't.
Yeah, shot on the third leg. Matt Padgett. Fourth leg is Mike to throw first. Game on. $100. $81. $59.
Again, we're seeing him just pull those darts to the
81.
right. Matt Padgett. They're not doing enough to punish him at the moment. Better.
96. $58.
We've seen Darius Labanauskas a winner in this quarter of the draw. Labanauskas will take on Joe Cullen, number 7 seed. Anthony Lopez, the leading light for the host nation, who came through the qualifiers last night, will be taking on Paul Nicholson. That's the same section. Winner of that faces Dave Chesnell. Again, it's that first dart in the one segment that's really causing Padgett problems.
41.
Yeah, and this time he's not really able to make too much of a recovery either.
Oh, how about this?
Double 16.
114.
Well, that would have been the highest checkout of the day. He's already got the highest checkout of the day, that 130. Labanauskas also had a ton plus checkout in his win. But that would have been pretty special for De Decker.
140.
As it is, he's got lots of room for manoeuvre now. Well, actually said that Padgett's just clawed back here, so not too much room for manoeuvre now for De Decker. And maybe that pressure is just beginning to tell. It's an awkward one. He's had to shift over to the left-hand side to try and find a way through. And he's actually overpitched it and busted his score. Now Padgett for a steal. And this time he stays out of the one bed. And he finds Sops as well.
Break
a throw for Padgett.
Game on.
Well, that is 240 points in 5 darts for Matt Padgett. Long way behind in that leg. Mike De Decker paying the price for 4 missed darts at double. Advantage to the Englishman. From Ilkeston, near Derby, between Derby and Nottingham.
96.
Much in the way of East Midlands representatives in darts, to be honest. Jamie Caven, of course, was a very
100.
top player in the top 16 in the world rankings, but he's had a tough time over the last couple of years. Kyle Anderson is based in Nottingham nowadays, but obviously Australian by heritage.
96. $78.
De Decker, a man who's had some fairly productive tournaments on the development tour this year. He made the semi-finals and a quarter-final a couple of months ago. Also made the last 8 of a Challenge Tour event in March as well, as he tries to rebuild his career after failing to win back his tour card earlier this year. No problems qualifying for this. He had to come through 4 rounds of qualifying to get here.
140.
Won his opener 6-0 against Kevin Ilger of Germany. Dominic Thiel and Michael Rosenauer, who we saw not too long ago, also accounted for as well. And then Christian Bunce in the final round of qualifying. So it's a tough route to get here.
60.
Qualifiers took place last weekend prior to the World Cup in Frankfurt. Now it's De Decker's turn to stray into that single one bet.
77.
As De Decker looks to claw back that break of throw. But Padgett looking to just ramp it up a little bit here.
125. Mike Dubois, 106.
Well, in hindsight, he may just have been better off just staying where he was. But anyway, there you go.
78.
Close.
Second time in this match that De Decker's gone into the next door bed. Did it on double 11 earlier on. Done it on double 4 there. 12's the target. Double 13. Could have left this earlier.
55.
Maybe that's why he chose not to leave it.
28.
The men saw.
Getting a shot on the 5th leg.
Found by De Decker.
6th leg is Mike to throw first.
Yeah, I think he's acknowledging he got away with that one as well. Could so easily have been in real trouble here, but he's just about ticking over at 3-2. Gets the break back.
$134. $60.
De Decker's most recent success was on the development tour in November of last year.
180.
And maybe just 1 or 2 signs that he's just finding a bit of rhythm here as well. Was the runner-up in the development tour as well in 2015, a year after he became the youngest ever champion of Belgium. Made his European Tour debut as an 18-year-old, and he's certainly got his rhythm here as well. Delightful setup by De Decker. A 180 plus that to get himself down to 50.
We've seen one 10-darter today already. I don't think we're going to see
60.
one here.
Mike, you require
We could
50.
do. Well, the sensible / boring option.
Okay, shot on the stick leg, Mike de Decker.
11 darter will do
Leg is
for Mike
Matt
de
to throw
Decker.
first.
Levels this game
Game
up.
on.
He's just upped things a little bit over the last leg and a half. He's top 20 on the development tour order of merit. There are plenty of, and again, it's another one in the one segment for Padgett. Oh
And
my
again,
days.
wow, this is just, well, it's becoming a bit of an issue now.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was,
66.
with the fat barrel darts that he's got, there was no way he could squeeze one into the one segment from that side, surely. But yeah, you look at the players who are above him, like
81.
Ted Everts, former tour card holder, Kenny Nyans, another young Belgian talent, Roby John Rodriguez, seen plenty of him, Nathan Rafferty, the man who famously knocked Peter Wright out of the UK Open, Dawson Michelle, Jared Cole, who's a product of the JDC.
108.
Much more like it. 3 maximums for Padgett.
Yeah, and De Decker, talking of Rafferty, he hit a perfect leg against Rafferty on the development
96.
tour as well. That was in March of last year. Well, you don't need me to say what we've been saying for large portions of this match about Padgett's first dart.
Well, I mean,
41.
if you go to Live Darts Data, which is the official scoreboard, if you like, for PDC Darts, you can follow, records every visit, your running averages as these games are going on. You can actually see the first, second, and third dart averages, and those darts into the one segment for Matt Padgett means that he is averaging 10 less with his first dart than his second and third dart, averaging 22 with his first dart.
92.
You know, if he was averaging 22 with all 3 of his darts, he'd be averaging 66, and he'd probably lost this game already. Thankfully, he's averaging 33 and 35 with the other 2 darts. That drags it up. But it just
100.
illustrates that first dart, and we talk about it so
22.
often, the first dart makes the rest of your visit so much easier or harder. Treble 18 needed. Should 36 scored.
61.
Okay.
Mike, you require 84.
Well, may not matter. Double 6.
78.
That would have put Mike
Now
de
you
Decker in
require
front for the first
61.
time in this game.
Yeah, and of course, on the flip side, if Padgett could sort out his first dart issues, then he'd be obviously in a much, much better place. As it is, he's got double 18 here.
Okay, shot on the 7th leg, Matt Padgett.
No problem there with his
Taking
finishing
Mike
dart
through
either.
First. Game on.
I mean, his overall average is quite healthy, but like you say, that first dart average is just dragging it right down, and it's
48.
okay. He's getting away with it for the time being, but
Right.
it's something he needs to address, I think.
Yeah, it's some decent numbers here from Mike de Decker. You know, it's helped by that 11 dart leg. And look at that, another one in the one segment. Matt Padgett, I mean,
24.
and you can just see. Now, I don't think it's an issue of a breeze or anything like that. I think it's just his action. He's dragging them over
96.
to that right-hand side. And I know that, you know, a right-handed player will often drag them the other way. It's almost like you're not releasing the dart quickly enough, and it's just
140.
being pulled across.
Yeah, I said his overall average was 96. I was referring to the first 9 average, which I was just underlining the point about the way he's starting off in legs.
$96.
Fabulous visit.
182.
5 maximums in this game, 3 to Padgett, 2 to de Decker.
And again, all about the timing. Just when Padgett might have been thinking about counter-attacking here and securing what would be a very, very timely break of throw, de Decker
58.
comes right back at him with a really good response, and he's in pole position here to hold for 4-4. Shanghai on 20s. Oh, desperately unfortunate.
80.
But he will be back.
Well, he's got 3 darts at double top, so that'll be fine, assuming he takes them. But he's only 1 out of 4 on his doubles so far in this game, 3 out of 12 in total. So the stats suggest this may not go.
100. Mike, you require 40. Game shot on the 8th leg.
The stats were backed up initially by the fact that Decker came inside for double 10, but takes out double 10 to level the match once again. Signs here that Padgett has sorted out his first dart issue as well.
140. 96.
That's a bit high in the bed for Padgett, but he still manages to line one alongside it.
139.
That's more like it, a 140, a 139 for Padgett so far. Strong stuff on his throw, just sending out the message here to De Decker that he's going to have to work hard over the course of the next 2 or 3 legs to come through this one. Much better from Padgett, this.
Yeah, sensible use of the bullseye there means when he returns, 1 treble gets him a dart at a double rather than a dart at the bullseye.
117.
First dart's been good in this leg.
Treble 19 for tops for Matt Padgett for a 5-4 lead. Beautifully done.
Matt Padgett.
Really confident, assured throwing from Matt Padgett during the course of that one. A 12-dart leg. And Mike De Decker has to win the next 2.
140.
Yeah, his best leg of this match, Matt Padgett. It's come in what is often a crucial 9th leg in these best of 11 encounters.
Well, I suppose in the back of his mind, we're thinking it's all about the need to hold throw in the next leg, but if he gets the opportunity here, all well and good, although De Decker making a flying start with a ton 40 plus this.
140.
Yeah, back-to-back ton 40s for De Decker, just giving Padgett something to think about here. Don't think he'll have totally given up on this leg, but I think deep down he'll be maybe just planning for life in leg 11.
95. 45.
Already met twice this year on the Challenge Tour, these two. 1 win apiece. 153 for Padgett, 154 for De Decker. So they've all been close. I feel these are 2 pretty evenly matched players. And it's played out like that so far in this game. And it looks like we might be going to a last leg decider. When it went to a last leg decider back in March, in fact, they played twice on the same day back in March on the Challenge Tour. Challenge Tour, of course, you have 2 events in a day. When it went to a last leg decider, it was won by De Decker, but he's going to have to break the Padgett throw if he's going to repeat the trick. That's assuming that he can get over the line in this one.
Yeah, De Decker just a little bit frustrated with himself with that final dart, straying into the 7, but he's left with a 2-dart combination here. Double 16 then to take us into a decider. Padgett may well be lurking.
17.
And he's looking at 130 now. Earlier, De Decker took out the 130 for the biggest checkout of the day so far. If Padgett can do it here, then he will be in business. And he's now looking at the bullseye. What a way to steal this. What a way to finish this would be,
86.
But he's off target.
Mikey Reguar, 32.
And De Decker breathes again.
The finishing has not been convincing from Mike De Decker today,
On the 10th leg,
but he does manage to pin that double 16, and we are going all the way.
First.
1 match start has been missed by Padgett already. De Decker has been ahead in the averages for a significant chunk of this game, but he might need to find a 12-dart leg here. And you see, 92 plays 93 pretty much.
96.
Yeah, important last start that for Padgett, just to make sure he got off to a respectable start in this all-important leg. But De Decker
140.
has just stolen a slight advantage here.
Despite all those darts in the one segment for Padgett, he still has outscored De Decker in the early part of legs, marginally.
$81.
So much room in that treble 20 bed after that first dart, and he could not find it again. That's perfect for Mike De Decker. Surely he follows with another. He doesn't.
100.
Similar frustrations for the Belgian.
Not really able to take full advantage there, Mike De Decker. Padgett's issues come back to haunt him at the worst possible time, and he's overcompensated on the other side here as well. He desperately needs a treble 20 here to salvage this
26.
one, and he hasn't come up with it, and it's advantage De Decker now.
And the stare he gave that visit suggests he knows he has given up an enormous opportunity for another win on the Euro Tour this year. Because that is 180 number 3. Mike De Decker, an absolutely ruthless last leg here. 140, 100, 180, leaves him 81, but here comes Padgett.
140.
Probably needed to fill it up.
81.
Well, he has given himself half a chance here. 74 for De Decker required. Double 16
Game shot
for De Decker for the match.
Mike De Decker.
And De Decker steals. Padgett no doubt left to reflect on what might have been at the culmination of that one, but far too many errant darts in the final leg, just giving De Decker the encouragement he needed. A missed dart at bullseye as well for a 6-4 win for Matt Padgett in the 10th leg as well, but having survived that particular scare, De Decker came through, and I think he acknowledges that that was a very, very close run thing, and he's a very lucky man to be into the second round here, but he came good at the right time, and he answered the questions exactly when he needed to as well. A good response by Mike De Decker. The 23-year-old from Belgium is through to round 2 here in Gibraltar to face Gerwin Price, the number 15 seed, tomorrow. We'll grab a quick word with Mike De Decker. Quick reminder, next we've got Andy Bolton against Richie Edhouse.
Superb stuff. You found your best stuff when you needed it.
Yeah. I missed 2 legs. I missed darts to break him, and on my own legs I was decent, not great, but decent enough. And then, yeah, I was happy with the last leg.
We've seen you play fantastically in little spells in senior darts and youth darts. How close do you think you are to making a breakthrough, like, say, your countryman Dimitri Vandenberg's done over the last few months?
Well, I need to get my nerves under control on stage. If I can play like I do on floor tournaments, I will do fine on stage, but the problem is I'm still nervous on stage. Like the walk-on, people shouting your name, it's still new for me. So that's the big problem with me, not playing like I can on the stage.
Well, you've got another opportunity this weekend. Congratulations, Mike De Decker, the real deal, through to the second round of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy.